Okay, quick side note before we get started. If you just want to see the footage and you don't want to hear me ramble on about a gun, the footage from the match, check out the competition section. There's another playlist with just the match footage. So that's for every one of these. There's that footage is up there too. If you don't want to hear about the gun, check out that. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with the camera. Like it's recording sometimes and sometimes it's not. But welcome back and welcome back to the off season. Most of the year, I've got the next big match that I'm focused on, whether it's something to do with USPSA or IDPA or one of the two pistol sports. But in the off season, I like to just shoot my carry guns. So that's what I'm doing. This is, the IDPA World Championship is recently over. It was the beginning of October, but it's over now. And now, like, I just want to shoot locals, have some fun, and shoot my carry guns. So I got a new gun to try out for you. This is a Glock 43X. As you can see, it's got the TLR6 light and the Hogue grip on it. Those are, Joe-isms or something that I like better. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, let's first take a look at a few stages from yesterday's IDPA match, and then we'll get a look over the top of the gun, compare it to the 365, which is probably the biggest contender for this guy, and then come back at the end with some pros and cons. All right, so here we are over the top of the guns. The Glock 43X with the Shield Arms 15-round magazine and the Wilson Combat grip on a 365X with the 15-round magazine. So as you can see, with the 15-round magazine, the 365 is just a touch longer than the Glock 43X. It does hang down a little bit past the grip, and you get just a touch more grip and a touch more barrel length or slide length with the 43X. As far as fitting in the bug box, both the bug box and the CCP box, this would fit except for the magazine. The base plate on the magazine is too long. If it were like flush, it might fit, but I don't think so. So again, this is something that I think is probably more realistic for what backup guns are right now than whatever fits in this. So anyway, it will fit in the CCP box. So, and obviously if it fits in the CCP box, it's going to fit in the SSP, the big box. So if you want to shoot it in either one of those, you'd be good to go. And with the 105 power factor ammo that I had some extra after last year's CCP run, and it cycles in this and it feels real good. So just a couple of differences in the magazines here. So we've got the 15 round Shield Arms for the Glock 43, the 15 round for the SIG 365, and as you can see, the 365 is just a little bit longer. That is what it is. However, the SIG, not to be outdone, came out with the 17 round mag, which is just a little bit, just a touch taller, but really not much. I know you guys probably can't see that very well, but they are not that different, and we get 17 in the macro magazine. So let's take a look at a few more stages, and we'll come back with the pros and cons. All right, so those are the stages. Still having a little camera issues. Haven't made one of these in a while, and I don't know, the camera just doesn't want to cooperate today. But yeah, let's get into some pros and cons. So the Glock 43X, the pros, for the size of this gun, it shoots really well. I mean, I've done, like I showed you before, the TLR6 and the Hogue grip kind of help me, at least for me, it helps it be a little bit more shootable. So I like a gun that fills up my hand a little bit more, which is tough because I also like these little single stack or micro compact guns, and yeah, if the regular or the stock grip is just, it's too thin and there's like room for the gun to move in my hand, it just doesn't work out for me. So I like the Hogue grip because it gives it, I don't know if you can see that, but it gives it a little bit of a palm swell on each side, so it really gets up into my hand the same way that Wilson combat frame does for the 365X and XLs and all those. Next, the shield arms mags. Talked about those before. These hold 15 rounds, the same as the Glock 19. So if you've got these mags, you can carry this gun around and you've got the same capacity as a Glock 19, which is pretty awesome for such a little package. And as I showed you before, it's a smaller magazine than the 15 round magazine for the 365. The Hogue grip fits well in my hand, like I said before. That's definitely a plus, and that's for me, that's like a must-have. Like, it's got to be a little bit meatier of a grip. You know, I go back and forth because I think an interesting gun might be like a 19 size frame with a 26 size slide. I don't know what you'd call that, like a Glock 26X, maybe. I don't know, but you know, with the 43X and the 48, I'm not sure that there's really a market for it. You know, it might be like making a gun for me, which is, you know, Glock's not going to do that, and they shouldn't. But anyway, another cool idea there. The TR6 is a decent weapon-mounted light, um, but it's really the only option. So we'll get into that in the cons. But the TR6 works just fine. The one I have, I guess they make one that has just the light, which if I'd known that earlier, I would have bought that because it's cheaper, and I don't really use the laser for much. And if I were to use this like in like an IDPA match for CCP, I have to like tape over the laser because you can't have a laser in any division of that. I think you can have them in like carry optics, but you know, you can't have them in CCP, which is what, you know, about the only thing you could shoot this in. I guess it's stock. You could shoot it in SSP, but you know, do what you want to do. Oh, with the light, it fit. So I had a Warriorland holster, which is somewhere in this mess. But with the light, the same light that fits on the 26, this is, you know, it's a good thing about the TLR6 is like inside the light you can buy the shells and change from you know, gun size to gun size, which is cool. But I didn't want to do that, so I just bought another TLR6. But because the Warriorland holster sort of retains the gun on the light, this fit in the Glock 26 holster no problem. So I didn't have to buy another holster for it, but I ended up, I will buy another holster for it just because, like, you know, it can move a little bit, and so I was like, yeah, I'll just buy a holster that, because they're not cheap, they're like $50, so not bad. But yeah, that's it for the pros. I mean, like, I don't have a terrible, you know, a bunch of terrible things to say about it in the con section. But it's a Glock. You guys know how I feel about Glocks, so we'll get into that next. So cons. The Glock mags work. I mean, they fit in the gun. They cycle, obviously, but they have the same problem that all Glock mags have, is that they have that plastic sleeve around it. I mean, like, these are essentially the same mag. It's just that, you know, we made one out of metal and did away with the plastic around it, which enables you to drop it from great height, according to Glock. But I don't think that the plastic does anything for you on the outside, other than, I mean, like, it gets chewed up, and then it makes it so you can have 5 less rounds. So, I mean, you get 3 with the gun, so that's pretty cool. I guess maybe you only get 2 if you buy it. I get on the law enforcement program, so maybe you only get 2 when you buy it. Otherwise, but I got 3, so that's sort of funny that like 2 of these mags equals 3 of the Glock mags. So swing and a miss for magazines with Glock. I don't know, man. Let go of that. Our stuff is perfection, and just you could have made that a lot better. But whatever. I don't work for Glock, so they don't have to listen to me. The Hogue grip fills my hand. But like I said before, the con is that like the stock grip, it's like flopping around. Like it just doesn't fit in my hand well without the Hogue grip. And so I say that's a con because okay, you put the Hogue grip on, now it does. Like, what's the problem? The problem is that like this is it. Well, it feels good. Like I haven't had this happen yet, but I have in the past used Hogue grips, and they have the potential to kind of like move around, and I don't know. Maybe there's a way to like vacuum seal this thing to the grip, or like with like a heat gun or something. I don't know. I haven't done anything like that, but I worry that it's going to shift around. And it did when I was drawing from appendix. This Hogue rubber sort of like was sticking to my clothes a little bit more. So if you're going to carry that appendix, and you're going to use the Hogue grip, something to think about. So it doesn't fit in the bug box, but it is for a lot of agencies their issued backup gun. So this isn't really a con for the gun, I guess. It's more of a con for IDPA. But like, if this is the direction in which backup guns are going, this should be the size of backup gun, that we are allowed to use in the sport. So yeah, I think it'd be a better idea to make the bug box about that size. And I think that's a good representation of what the bug sized or the backup gun box or gun is, because it's got the shorter slide. It's not as long as like an XL or a 48. I don't think the 48 is necessarily a backup gun. I think it's just a slim 19. So yeah, I think that would be a good way to go if they were going to change it. I'm not sure that participation is at a level in bug where they're concerned about it. Not as concerned as I am. Oh yeah, I mean, it's a negative, I guess, but I had to spend another. So in order to get this to the way I want it, I had to spend, I don't know how much I had to change the mag catch, because you can't have these shield mags are aluminum, and I'm told that the aluminum will chew up the plastic mag release. So okay, put aluminum one in, reverse it because I'm lefty. The Hogue grip, the light, all that stuff to get it to where this is like an acceptable gun was, I don't know, another 120. I don't know what that costs. 15, 20 bucks. The mags, I don't remember. They're not cheap. So it was another like 200 bucks just to get this to what I think you probably get just by buying a 365. I mean, the magazine is a little bit smaller. The grip is a little bit smaller, or it's about the same size as a 365X or XL grip, but you get 15 rounds instead of 12. But you got to do a lot more work to get it there. And the sights are not stock. The sights are Ameriglows, and so that's on top of. They're about as nice as the X-Ray 3 sights that you get stock on a P365. So all in all, like, is the Glock a good gun? Like, absolutely it is. But you can buy all that stuff stock from a different manufacturer and have just as good a gun, and probably a better trigger, because the trigger's not. It's a Glock trigger. It's mushy. And on the 43, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, the 43 and the 43X, you only get that like ribbed trigger, and it's just uncomfortable. And if you're doing the carry thing and you just can't change it out to a aftermarket trigger, then you're stuck with, you can't get the smooth trigger. Yeah. So overall, I don't think I'd carry this. I don't think I'd feel like undergunned carrying this around. I think that, because I was thinking like, oh, between this and the Glock 19, like, would I feel more comfortable carrying around a Glock 19? And after shooting it yesterday and testing these shield mags, no, I think I would feel just as, gunned up or prepared with a Glock 43X as if I was carrying a Glock 19. But that, like, I like little guns. I like shooting carry guns, so I shoot these a lot. I think that for somebody who might not carry as often, they might feel undergunned or might be undergunned and not feel that way. So I guess if you're going to carry something like this, or whatever gun you're going to carry with, it's probably just a good idea to train with it a whole bunch. So yeah. Other than that, I'm going to go down to Las Vegas. The season's over, I know, but there's a match in Vegas. It's the first, I think it's their state match, first state match that I'm aware of that they've had in Nevada, but it's in Vegas. It's on a Sunday. I wish it was a Saturday, but Heather and the girls, or me and the girls, are gonna go down to Vegas. I'm gonna shoot that match, and we'll see what Vegas has to offer for us. But other than that, I'm gonna got a few more guns this year to test out and show you guys. So be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for the footage from Vegas. And we'll see you on the next.